Hey, this is Red. You're listening to the Midwest Mixtape Podcast.
Howling at the moon while the innocents sleep through a canyon of concrete walls. I've been down, oh, but not this alone. 27 years, never missed a single sunset. Eyes glowing green, living in the shadows, just another game to be seen.
Hi, and welcome to the Midwest Mixtape Podcast, live from the Barn Studio in Southeast Missouri. We are joined with a special guest online right now. We have Mr. Red Shahan. Red, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really good. I am a big fan. We are a big fan here at the Midwest Mixtape Podcast, and really excited you're coming into our neck of the woods this weekend. You'll be at HELLBENDE'S on the Current in Van Buren, Missouri, Saturday, August 12th with Steve Bankey and Flatland Band. We're excited to have you in our area.
I'm excited to be there. Is it any less hot than it is in Texas?
Right now, actually, we had a little bit of a couple cool days. I'm not sure what this weekend's looking like, but yeah, we've cooled down just a little bit.
What would define cool?
Well, I think yesterday maybe hit 80s.
Oh yeah. Well, now we're talking like Texas winter. We'll be there.
Yeah,
we'll be there for sure.
I know you're a Texas, native, but is that where you currently live and stay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we live about 30 minutes west of Fort Worth.
We've talked to many Texas artists on here, and like Wade Bowen and William Clark Green and Randy Rogers and all that, and it seems like they spend a whole month just playing Texas. And I know Texas is pretty big, obviously, but they hit almost every spot of it. Do you play Texas a lot?
Not really. We only do about 4 or 5 Texas dates a year. We try to get out as much as we can, and because we've done the Texas thing for a long time in the past, and it's become quite a good money market for us. So we try not to oversaturate and just play the right places, and then get up north and west and east, and as far as people will have us.
As far as being an artist, is that one of your favorite things about being a singer-songwriter artist, is playing on the stage, or do you enjoy the studio time or the crafting of songs? Where do you say you're the most comfortable as being a singer-songwriter?
Oh man, it's probably in studio. I love being in studio. I love writing, love recording. As far as being an entertainer, I wouldn't really categorize myself as that. I struggle with, the car salesman pitch, but I enjoy playing music live, regardless. But being in the studio it's just one of those moments that you can't really recreate.
On your website, you have a pretty exciting tour that you're getting ready to go on. You have some dates in the fall opening up for Colder Wall, which is a guy that I think almost everybody would agree seems to be doing it the right way. Are you excited about those dates, and what can we look forward to on that tour?
Yeah, Coulter's a good guy. His band, everybody involved is great dudes, and I'm excited to get back out. We did some shows back in 2018. It was me and him, and we were opening up for Cody Jinks, and we all got to be pretty good friends. And those shows, especially, I think we're doing 2 dates at the Longhorn Ballroom in Dallas, and they're kind of reviving that place. From what sounds like to be a really cool venue. So looking forward to those, and obviously getting out of the heat with the rest of the shows.
What do you think about sort of the state of country music right now? It seems like we sort of have two kinds of lanes where people are still part of the, Nashville machine. And then, guys like Coulter and some other guys as well sort of have a little bit more ownership of what they're doing. And what do you think about the state of country music?
Oh man, I stay optimistic. I don't judge anybody for what they choose to do with their music. And, if people are more career minded, I think that's cool. I would probably say I needed to be a little more career minded. But I'm at heart, it's hard to ever get away from that stubborn, artistic, whatever you want to call it, mentality that I have. I think it's always going to be in good hands as long as there's people on both ends of the spectrum. I think if everything was right down the middle, everybody would get bored with it. It gives some people some perspective on whether they like one type of music or the other, because there will always be the extremes. I think it's in good hands, personally.
That's good to hear, especially coming from somebody that's been doing it for as long as you have. You know, you've likely witnessed some significant changes in the music industry. How do you adapt to some of those changes? And I always kind of ask this question as like, you know, somebody who creates songs and art, and you live in a world where everything is very 60-second clips and TikTok world and TikTok culture. How do you kind of navigate those two things?
Well, luckily I'm pretty dumb, and I don't have TikTok, and I don't have Twitter, and I don't really even get on the rest of the stuff. So I've kind of blocked out the noise from day one as far as social media and the required upkeep per se that a lot of guys stretch themselves out thin for. It's something that I don't really get involved with because I'm just not that type of person. It's hard for me to want to keep up with that. And again, it's like the national machine. Like I don't judge people for doing that. I think it's, as far as work ethic goes, you see some of these guys grinding it out on every possible platform they can, and that takes work. You know, it's undeniable that kind of stuff is definitely hard. But as far as myself and keeping up with that stuff, like nah, I just try to focus on writing good music and being a good husband and a good father, and keep taking care of my P's and Q's around the house, if you will.
And you mentioned off air about being on dad duty right now.
Yeah, I'm actually feeding our third child right now as we're on this interview.
Awesome. So how's that? You know, how do you balance family life with the career that requires you to be away a lot of the times? How do you navigate that?
You know, it's going to be interesting with the third in the mix. We have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. 2 girls, and then we just had our son, Ozzy. So they're all relatively young, and my wife is only one person. But she's tough, and she can handle just about anything. She's been an ICU nurse for 14 years, so she's definitely not a lightweight by any means. She can handle a heavy load. So, you know, it's just like anything else. It's balance. You know, I can't be gone a whole month, but I think my current expiration date is 2 weeks. So any longer than 2 weeks, I think I get run off pretty quick. So I try to stay under that.
Shout out to the wives, right? Holding it down while we're out there chasing dreams.
Chasing dreams, just being goons out there with a guitar. So
here at the Midwest Mixtape Podcast, we do a songwriter spotlight. The first song that ever came across our radar of yours, I absolutely am in love with. I think it's a great song, is Men and Coyotes.
Yeah.
What has that song meant to your career, and why do you think so many people connected with that song? I guess it's amassed over 13 million Spotify streams. What was it about that song? How has it meant to your career?
You know, that was our debut record, and this is just speculation, but I think that the loneliness, like the vastness in the sound, it's not overproduced. There's not a lot going on. I think that was easy to latch onto. You know, compared to a lot of things that you hear on the radio. You know, it's kind of a break from, you know, the layered guitars and all the vocals and all those things, and those are cool, but it's just kind of a break in between those songs. And as far as lyrically, you know, it's kind of out there and really kind of more leans towards the blue collar crowd and kind of that resilience and being yourself and keeping on doing what you do, even though, you know, nobody cares for coyotes. So that's really what it's meant to me. And as far as career goes, you know, I mean, that's obviously you said the numbers, you know, that's the song that people gravitate towards the most. So it's a fun one to play live, and it's a big hit whenever we bring it out.
Do you care if we hear a little bit of it?
Go for it.
All right.
The moon where the innocent sleep through a canyon of concrete walls. I've been down, oh, but not this alone. 27 years, never missed a single sunset. Eyes growing green, living in the shadows, just another game to be seen. And some people say we sing a lonesome song for the cowboy.
How do we get this song on Yellowstone? It seems like that would be the perfect fit for it.
Yeah, we've got that a lot. We have a couple songs on Yellowstone, but I agree. I think that one would be a pretty cool little scene in one of them.
Do you have any specific memories about writing Men and Coyotes?
I know that I was sitting in a trailer house in Stephenville, Texas, where I lived at the time, and just kind of like one of those songs that just kind of falls out of you and can't put it down until it's done. So I don't really know how long it took me, but it wasn't very long at all. And then, you start playing it with friends and start playing it live, and then it was an obvious song that needed to be recorded. So
say it has worked out well. We're digging in the past a little bit. We got the tour in the fall. What's the future after that? What's 2024 look like for you guys?
We've got a record in the can. We finished in about 6 or 7 days. We went down to Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals and cut a record down there. At the very least, we'll put out a single in January, and from there, we'll probably. I'm not a big guy. I'm not big on putting out singles, but we'll probably put out 2 at the most, and then release the record.
That's a pretty legendary studio down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that experience like?
It was fantastic. There was so much history in those walls, and everybody involved was top notch. And Mark Ford also produced this one as well. So it's nice to be surrounded by such good company in a place like that. It's a studio is one thing. Like it's you can go in and you can give it your all, but if you're not in good company, the studio doesn't matter. So very fortunate to have the guys that I do.
When you're in a studio like that and there's so much history there, and I know a lot of rock music, and there's definitely some rock elements to what you do, I would say. Does that tend to seep into your sound, or do you feel like that influences the music at all?
It does. I love rock. I love old country. I love it all. There's not really a genre that I steer away from, to be honest. Like, it's good. I'm on it. But the rock side, that's everybody's. It's born in the 80s, it's definitely got a little 90s grunge in them, for sure.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. One of your songs I have on my notes here, Get the Money, it actually reminds me of a little bit of a 90s alternative song. And then something like, Water Bill has a sort of Creedence Clearwater kind of sound to it. So I definitely hear some of those influences in your music. And I think that's, one of the reasons we're big fans here is you put on a song, you're really not sure what you're going to get. And a lot of them sound very different from the others. And that's important to me. I like variety when I listen to music and when I listen to artists.
That's honestly something that I struggle with when it comes to putting a record together with somewhat of some kind of congruency. It's important to have like a well-rounded record, but just trust that the songs that I put on a record are as good as I could get to get them all in some kind of a vein.
Yeah, because music is your product, right? And how do you market it? How do you shape it and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that single in January, and we're really excited for this weekend at HELLBENDE'S on the Current in Van Buren, Missouri, Saturday, August 12th, with you and Steve Bankey and Flatland Band. Red, we appreciate your time today. Get back to dad duties, and we'll see you this weekend.
Yes, sir. That sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Howling at the moon while the innocents sleep through a canyon of concrete walls. I've been down, oh, but not this alone. 27 years, never missed a single sunset. Eyes growing green, living in the shadows, just another game to be seen. Some people say we sing a lonesome song for the cowboys, and others enjoy the company of the strange. And just like the Indians say, we're only here to guide the way, the common thing, oh, misunderstood. But at the end of the day, nobody cares for coyotes. They're gonna burn us out of town. Just like a two-faced lion, nobody cares for coyotes. They're gonna burn us out of town. Labeled as a young man, never had a chance. The night calls out, oh, come on home. 27 years, never done nobody wrong, but my eyes glow green. Living in the shadows, just another game to be seen. But at the end of the day, nobody cares for coyotes. They're gonna burn us out of town. Just like in 2 feet.